In this video, I'm going to walk you through creating keyboard shortcuts to access the macros that were created in the tools.xlam file. Because if you use record macro, you can actually set your keyboard shortcut here, and you can even set it, but that's not available to XLAM and add-ins. And it is available if you use the personal macro book, but an add-in is much more versatile than a personal macro book. But the good news is that you can actually create a macro that will register those keyboard shortcuts for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into Visual Basic, and then I'm going to go into my admin module, and I'm going to add it here. So I'm going to go to the bottom, I'm going to add one, and I'm just going to call it sub add keyboard shortcuts. And I'll go ahead and add a bunch of lines here just to give me some room to work. Now to register a keyboard shortcut, it's actually a very simple command. It's just application.onKey, and then you specify what you want the key combo to be. And I'm just going to do Control plus Shift plus the letter V for my paste selection as values command. Now what that does is the caret is the control key, plus is the shift key, and V is the letter V. Now I use that because if you just use control and then a letter, Excel already takes control of those particular keyboard shortcuts, so you would just be overriding one of their shortcuts. So I always like to use the control plus shift, and Excel uses 6 control plus shift plus a letters. So you just have to avoid those 6. And those 6 are A, F, L, O, P, and U. So you have 20 other letters that you can use if you're going to use control shift. So I like to put all my keyboard shortcuts as control shift plus one of those 20 letters. And one of the available letters is V. So just to show you how that works, I'm going to run this. So that actually registered it. So before that keyboard shortcut did nothing. Now I ran this. Now when I register, so when I come over here and I can actually see there's formulas there, I hit Control Shift V, and it'll actually paste the values because it's running that paste selection as values command that's in the macro module right there. So now I just need to go back to the admin module and just do it for the rest of my macros. So here's my macros. So this is going to run and register 8 different keyboard shortcuts. And I put them all as control shift plus a letter. And I also added some comments up here. So I know that the caret equals control, the plus equals shift, and the percent sign equals alt, because I can make it any combo that I want. And I also listed the letters that are available with Control Shift. These are the 20 letters, and so I'm using 8 of them here, so technically I only have 12 left, but I'm just in case I want to change them up or anything like that. These are my Control Shift and then available letters that Excel does not use. And I'll put these 20 letters in the description for reference. Now that I have this macro, by itself, it's not going to do anything because it needs to be run. And so I can come here and hit play, and now if I'm in a workbook, these keyboard shortcuts will work. But next time I open Excel, those keyboard shortcuts aren't going to be there because this is application, and application is the Excel instance. And so every single time that I close Excel, that instance is gone. And then when I reopen it, that instance the new instance isn't going to have these keyboard shortcuts to run it. So I need to run this every single time Excel is open. Not every workbook is open, but every time an instance of Excel is opened. And so I'm going to do that in the tools is this workbook module. And so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to use an event called open. And you could just select this, select workbook, and you have a bunch of different events that you can choose from about what, run this macro when you add a sheet and all the different things. But open is when the workbook gets opened, and Excel add-ins are opened every single time that Excel is opened. So this macro will run pretty much anytime a new instance of Excel is created. And so that's the perfect time to actually run my macro that'll actually register my keyboard shortcuts. And I'll just say call admin module and call add keyboard shortcuts. So I'm going to use that event. When this workbook opens, it's going to register my keyboard shortcuts. And so just to show how that works, I'm going to save my tools because I'm on the actual tools workbook. When I hit save, it saved the tools. It didn't save this workbook. And now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to close and I'm going to say don't save. Then I'm going to reopen that same workbook. Okay, now that it's opened, I didn't even have to register because it registered automatically with that auto open. So I can say Control Shift V, change my um, paste it as values. I can come over here, say these. I can do Control Shift R, which will auto fit these. I can select and do that filter by selection with Control Shift T, and then just put it there. So I can run all my macros with a keyboard shortcut. Now, I will say that auto open is a little bit risky, so Excel may throw you some warnings about, hey, don't auto run macros when things auto open because macro module does have a lot of functionality with like the file system and stuff like that. But if it's in a trusted location and stuff, it shouldn't be a problem. But that's a quick way to add keyboard shortcuts to your tools. And I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.